Hello everyone and welcome to AG Archaeology. Today we will be taking a look at Danganronpa, the animation, which is an anime adaptation of the beloved video game Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. We will be looking at how it came to be, and as well as how many people end up becoming victims of this desk game. For those who don't know, Danganronpa is a series of games that take place in a visual novel style format. As a very gross oversimplification of the game series, the player is forced into solving murder mysteries. The anime adaptation follows the first game in the series, which is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. The anime adaptation was helmed by the studio Lurch, which is also responsible for shows such as Classroom of the Elite, Monster Musume, and Persona 4 the Animation, while being directed by Seiji Kishi. Sorry if that is mispronounced, who was also the director of Classroom of the Elite and Persona 4 the Animation. The anime adaptation was aired in Japan on July 4th of 2013 and ran all the way to September 26th of the same year, having a total runtime of 13 episodes, which equaled around 304 minutes or about 5 hours. If you're curious to watch the series for yourself, it can be both viewed on Funimation and Hulu. Now, on to how many people died. There are spoilers ahead for both Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc and the anime adaptation. Click away now if you do not want to be spoiled. Anyway, on the count. Danganronpa really wants you to know what you got yourself into, since not even a full minute into the first episode, a lovable bear known as Monokuma sends a poor man blasting off in a rocket into the space. This unknown man is killed upon re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere, burning alive inside of the rocket. Pretty brutal. After that cold open, we get to meet our protagonist, Makoto Naegi, on his way to Hope Peaks Academy, which is a high school of super talented people such as Leon, who is the ultimate baseball star, or Junko and Oshima, who is the ultimate fashionista. However, upon arriving to the school, he's apparently knocked out and wakes up inside a classroom that is bolted shut. Upon having no other options available to him, Makoto walks around the school until he stumbles upon the gym, which has a whole bunch of people inside. After getting acquainted with these new faces, both old and new, Monokuma makes his grand entrance stating that they are forever going to live now within the school. However, if they want to leave the school, they have to kill one of their fellow classmates and get away with the murder. Obviously, not everyone is down with this whole killing each other situations, and one of the students, Mondo, ends up attacking Monokuma, who initiates a self-destruct sequence in response, which in turn causes Mondo to quickly throw away Monokuma before he blows up. Now, do not worry, the bear has a backup. Now, upon this new backup Monokuma warns everybody that he will not be so gentle next time if someone decides to attack him. That's called pretty obvious foreshadowing right there. Anyhow, the group of students decide to Scooby-Doo it up after deciding, arguing with the very murderous bear. It's not a good idea. Upon not finding anything while searching for clues, Monokuma comes back and gives everybody a tape, which ends up showing something horrific. The bear helps this tape gets the gears turning on his killing game. Monokuma, however, doesn't have to wait long for his wish to come true, because the next morning, one of the students, Sayaka, is found dead with a knife stabbed through her stomach. Also, as a quick side note for people viewing, you might be wondering why the blood is pink rather than red. The reason for this is during the game development of the actual game, they originally had used red blood for the kills. However, out of a fear of censorship and any controversy, they decided to change the blood to pink, which also carried over to the anime adaptation, staying true to the game. Anyway, after that fun fact of the day out of the way, let's continue. After Sayaka has been found dead, Monokuma informs everyone the game has truly begun, and the timer to find out who has done it has already started. Now Junko, after having found out the situation is very much real, refuses to play the said game and ends up assaulting the poor Monokuma bear. Like how an elephant never forgets, Monokuma stays true to his word and, thanks to the power of foreshadowing, returns the favor to Junko and Oshima by turning her into a pincushion, stabbing her to death with multiple spears at once. Another poor student down. This in turn solidifies to everyone else that they must play the killing game or, well, pretty much die. After gathering evidence upon the murder of Sayaka and some heavy debating, they come to the conclusion during the trial phase that the one who murdered Sayaka must be Leon. However, unknown to all the students at the time, anyone who is convicted of murdering a student is in turn executed themselves, so Leon is pelted to death by 1,000 baseballs. Monokuma, wanting to break a speedrun world record, leaves no time for mourning and soon reveals a new predicament. That if no one is murdered or is found dead, everyone will have their darkest secret or most embarrassing secret revealed. Makoto, not believing anybody would go that far to break a secret, is about to have his world shattered. When he and Byakuya discover Chihiro's lifeless body strung up dead in the girl's loft room. After the investigation phase starts, Byakuya has a hunch and decides to bring Makoto along with him to show him evidence that he deems important. He shows Makoto evidence that Chihiro is strung up in the same way of a serial killer's MO, which was known as genocide. So, having shown him the two files of those victims, which were both Ken and Gyaku, this only increases tensions among the group that there is now a possible serial killer amongst them. However, during the trials phase, the tensions are dismissed and it is discovered that Mondo is responsible for killing Chihiro in a moment of emotional distress to keep his secret hidden. Though, there's still a serial killer among them. Having been acquitted of his crimes, Mondo is sentenced to be electrocuted to the point of liquefaction. Ishimaru, another student, is left heartbroken at the death of poor Mondo since they had become best bros. Though with the help of Makoto and the AI Chihiro left behind, Ishimaru vows to keep living for both himself and Mondo. Though that promise is left in vain, as Ishimaru is our next poor victim of the killing game. In a shocking twist, however, Ishimaru is not our only victim that was found. He is also found by the group with Hifumi, who was found dying on the floor, having his head bashed in. After a very heated investigation phase and a trial of both misinformation, our master behind this brutal double killing is none other than Celestia Ludenberg. Having been caught red-handed trying to achieve a kill streak, she accepts her death, which results into her being crushed by a fire truck. Anyhow, after being crushed by a fire truck, the number of our students is running pretty low, and Makuma decides, it's time to spice things up a little bit, and decides to reveal to the remaining students that there has been a spy amongst the group this entire time. Our spy for Monokuma is none other than Sakura, who's been feeding information to the bear. Then, to complicate things even more for the group of students, Sakura is found the next day having been killed. This causes a bit of massive distrust amongst the students since, who probably killed the spy? After another investigation and trial, it was discovered that Sakura actually drank poison, which resulted in her committing suicide. So now, with the group reunited, they have a new goal of taking down both Monokuma and the mastermind. After quite a few road bumps, they manage to back him into a corner, which in turn, Monokuma decides to set up one last trial for the remaining students. If they can figure out the whole truth, they're allowed to go free. However, if they are not, they will all be killed in turn. In our final trial, the group discovers that the mastermind behind the whole situation is actually Junko Nashima, which you might be wondering, how can that be? The Junko that we saw actually die earlier in the show was actually Junko's twin sister, Mukuro Ikusaba, who was betrayed by her own sister and was killed by Junko to both show the strength of Monokuma and feel the despair of killing her own sister. After a battle of wits and shocking lore revelations, Makoto is able to rally everybody into agreement that they will stand together with hope and not succumb to despair. In turn, Junko has to surrender since they found the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and having been bested, forces herself to face every execution that has been featured in the show so far. And with that, she dies. Pretty obviously. Now, with the killing game finally over, the group of survivors escape from the school and are left to face with whatever the world has in store for them. Overall, we had 7 male and 6 females fall victim to this killing game, for a grand total of 13. A decent number for the first outing of the series, if I counted correctly. Hopefully you all enjoyed and found out something interesting. Hopefully I see you all next time. Goodbye.